Okay. To all our guests today, thank you all so much for coming. I'm Anthony Oscar, the President and CEO of the National Music Center. Before beginning today's program, I would like to acknowledge that we are located on the traditional lands of the peoples of Treaty 7 region. National Music Center acknowledges and pays respect to the original custodians of these territories and is committed to working with Indigenous people here in Calgary and area in the spirit of collaboration, celebration, and reconciliation. I'd like to now welcome Blackfoot Elder Sheldon First Rider to the podium to offer a blessing. Sheldon.
Well, you said, okay, very good.
Good teacher.
Before I get started with my prayer, I want to acknowledge all of you that are here in Blackfoot territory. One of the things that I had been doing is working at the Glenbow Museum. And in there, I came across a map. And I looked at that map, and so I was so excited because I didn't know we made maps. And so I asked my auntie, did you know we made maps? And she goes, yeah. And I said, oh really? I just seen a map at Glenbow. And she goes, well, you worked at a place that has hundreds of maps. And I go, really? You worked at writing on stone. And the whole valley is full of maps of all of their journeys that they went. So at the same time, when the smallpox and the tuberculosis started to hit our population back in the 1700s or in the 50s, and so because it wiped out most of our population, the Blackfoot territory was actually closed off to all people. And if you weren't a Blackfoot, you're actually killed. Because we did not want to have that influence. And so when there was a map maker named David Thompson, and he came into our territory, and he said all there was just a big bald spot. And so we liked him because he was very truthful. And so we adopted him, and that's the loophole. If we adopt you, you become a Blackfoot. If we make treaties with you, you become a Blackfoot. And this is what is happening today, is that with the Blackfoot people, sometimes people may be using colonization to be a part of the Blackfoot territory. But in that same sense, we do not know what cedar surrender meant. If we would have known, there'd be a different history today. Because to us, when we are not acknowledging the land, what we are acknowledging is all people, including the sky people, the earth people, the water people, the plant people, the animal people, the bird people, the rock people. We look at all of creation as people, and we've honored them for over 50,000 years. When I say that number, there was findings not too far from my place where I'm at, around the Blood Reserve. They found what is called a Clovis point, with the ancient DNA of the first horse that was in America. And then I was doing some work in Eastern Washington University. I just happened to open up the archaeology book, and they said they found some artifacts in Cypress Hills that they thought were over 30,000 years. And then they found in Drumheller some more artifacts. And the archaeologists were so excited, and they invited our elders to come up to take a look at these artifacts. And they told the elders, we think these artifacts are over 50,000 years old. And so the archaeologists asked the elder, so how old are you people? And the elder said, well, just keep digging. They've been there a long time. And to all the newcomers that are here, we welcome them. And we want them to honor Blackfoot territory by giving respect to all of the people of creation. And so, this is my grand acknowledgement. Ayo na tusi, kukumiki suna, episodes. Ayo n'kaki mukina, mukse iduduya, estama kitput iskuskina me manitskuna da piatsumuiska, manitskuna da binitita pisachko, manitskuna da binita pisini. O kinokaiksimatsimissa, akoutuja, nohtsissinias manitskuna da binitita pisachko. Autotussinen after ik akkumiitsemia, man stakkuta isokistutsemia, käymiksi manstaapi. Keniksi on moksis miittapiiksi, keniksi on sakkumiittapiiksi, keniksi on kinnaapitapiiksi, keniksi on amiitsittapiiksi, keniksi on kamtskaapitapiiksi, keniksi on kapatsitapiiksi, suitapiiksi. Ai on nitsuvaiksi, ai on itsitapiiksi. Ai no käkkimukin. Kakokitkonen stuappi kaamu. Kaamun amiksin iskinitouduja. Kakokitsitakskai. No käkkimmässä niksi matkuja, niksi tsipstaappia. Äsukin. Muuksia katstumia utakammin mutsia. Ai no käkkimukin. Kinukuusiksi, missä kuusiksi. Ai no tuutespomuusa. Kakokitskinen manetskinen läpi. Akita isapuukaatum. Iskenemaatstaksi. Ooks tuutas muuten? Ai on naapi. Ai no tuuteekin muuten. Ooki. Tuutas muuten. Anta kukita iksematsen maailmuuksi nohkiitsutapiiksi. Akukitskinen ja yksi akkumaapi. Nitsutapissa sahko. Ooki naatuusi. Ooki. Kukumikiisu. Episodes. Tämän. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sheldon. Hello, everyone. I'm really excited. This is like one of the most, I would say, spiritual, enlightening, and fun moments of my job here at the National Music Center. I'm really, really excited about welcoming the latest inductee in the Canadian Music Hall of Fame here in the Halls of Fame Gallery on the 5th floor of Studio Bell. None other than Hart, to formally place his name on the plaque of the Hall of Fame wall here at Studio Bell. Since the time that we opened just 3 years ago, and I think we're 12 days away, by the way, from our 3rd year anniversary. So it's coming on July the 1st. Really, really exciting. We have welcomed several Hall of Famers into this amazing space that we have here, including Burton Cummings, Sarah McLaughlin, last year the Bare Naked Ladies, among other Hall of Famers that we've had the privilege to work with in our space in general. Some of those artists have included Katie Lang, recently Geddy Lee Rush, Tom Cochran, and Randy Bachman, among others. These plaque ceremonies are really, really important. They're an important tradition for National Music Center on so many levels, because we get to share with the Canadian Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences the stories of these amazing Canadians that have inspired so many people through their music here in the Canadian Music Hall of Fame space. I'm very proud of the fact that the National Music Center is the physical home of not only one Hall of Fame for this country, but 4. Yes, 4 temps de renommée pour le pays du Canada. In one of those aspects, this is one of the aspects that truly makes the National Music Center national. Before this building was created, there were no dedicated Hall of Fame spaces in our country. None, not one, that told these stories, that brought together exhibits that could, and knowledge that could be imparted onto children, into music fans, used for programs for seniors, all kinds of different types of programs. So we are very proud that we finally built this building and finally have a place to bring our nation's artists and their incredible stories, inspiring stories to so many people through programming. We'll continue to live this vision by showcasing the remarkable contributions of these Canadian trailblazers, past and present, through on-site programs and activities here at Studio Bell, and in other ways that we get our message out there. The music of these artists, these creators, the performers have touched, when you really think about it, and I know Alan's going to touch on this because he speaks about it so well, the music of Canada punches so high above its weight in this world. I mean, some of our best known Canadians are musicians. Alan does such a great job at telling our national music story from the perspective of the Junos. And we're so great that one of these artists here, who has sold millions of records, whose music I know has touched many of you in this room at one point in your life, and probably continues to do that. I would also like to mention that Corey Hart is currently being celebrated here at Studio Bell in a new exhibition, if you haven't already seen it yet, just to my left in the Milestones Gallery. It runs till October 2019, and I encourage you to take a look at that exhibition after the plaque ceremony. Again, just to my left. Don't forget to put on your paper sunglasses so you can really dive deep into that exhibition. The exhibition was made with Corey's fans in mind. It includes fan mail and audio recordings from Corey himself, along with memorabilia, awards, and personal items, including the glasses that he wore and the sunglasses at night in the video, which I know a few of you have replicas of in this room because I've seen you with them. I know we have some really big Corey Hart fans, as I said, so I'm really excited for you to take in the gallery and also possibly some other programs that we're going to offer in the future. With that being said, after the plaque ceremony, we're all going downstairs for an interview, a brief interview with Corey. So if you still haven't had your fill up here, or tomorrow, or later today rather, in our performance space, you can catch Corey tomorrow night in concert at the Saddle on his cross-country tour, which is really exciting. And by the way, we have 4 tickets for that show up for grabs, and we'll be announcing the winners of those 4 tickets at the performance later tonight in the gallery, in the performance hall. So I would like to thank all the members that are here this evening, the National Music Center members that continue to make the National Music Center the great organization that it is. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for your future support. And if you have friends that want to be members of the National Music Center, you can explain to them some of the benefits that you get for being a member, such as attending these fabulous events. We are also pleased to have the Corey Hart obviously here. You can see him to the left. It's what happens when you read notes too close. It's better to ad-lib, but sometimes that can get you into trouble as well.
I think it's David to come.
Pretty soon we're going to get into, where's Jesse Moffat from our exhibition scene? Pretty soon we're going to get into wax figures. Pretty soon. So Corey Hart is obviously here to my left, but his family is here with him. And of course with Alan Reed, one of the great music champions of this country, Alan Reed, the president and CEO of Karis, the June Awards and Music Counts, who I'm going to welcome up in less than 5 seconds to say a few words. So thank you so much for being here. Would you please give a great hand for, like I said, one of the great music champions of this country, Alan Reed from the June Awards.
Thanks for adjusting that a little taller. Thanks, Andrew. Always great to be here. And thanks everybody here for joining us. This is a very incredible event today where we get to honor the 2019 Canadian Music Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Corey Hart. Right on the left. And I have to say, it's so wonderful to be back in this building. Andrew, I just want to say we so greatly appreciate everything that you do, your team does here at Studio Bell on behalf of artists in Canadian music. This is an extraordinary place, and I get to sort of walk the halls when I come here every year. And it is just so enjoyable to immerse yourself in the stories and music of our artists. They tell incredible stories, and especially right now, seeing that it is National Indigenous Peoples Day on the 21st, there's a great exhibition on the 3rd floor, so please make sure you check that out. I often say I have one of the best jobs in the music business. I actually think I do have the best job in the music business. I get to be an ambassador for Canadian music. And I spent 30 years of my life in this industry. And as Andrew said, I'm very passionate about it. And one of my favorite parts of my job is actually when I get to call an artist and tell them they're going to be the inductee this year into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. And in my 30 years in this business, I actually never had the chance, we never came across, Corey and I never met. And I had a chance to call him and tell him he was going to be the inductee. I was just saying to his family, we spoke for probably about 7 minutes before I even had a chance to say, by the way, the reason I'm calling But he is, you are, Corey, an absolute pleasure to work with and an incredibly unique human being. And it's been great getting to know you, honestly. It was just a few months ago, back in London at the Juno Awards, that we celebrated Corey, and he became the 52nd artist to enter the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. And it was the first time in over 20 years that he actually performed live in television. I gotta say, if you didn't see it, it was absolutely amazing. And if you also didn't catch it, Corey, your speech was absolutely beautiful and heartfelt, and he had no teleprompter. He just walked up there. It was there, and he didn't use it. He just started talking, and it was a beautiful speech. And I gotta say, a 20-year hiatus has been very good to you.
I should quit while I'm ahead.
As you all know, Corey was one of the biggest stars back in the 80s and 90s. We all know his songs. Obviously, Never Surrender, Boy in the Box, and of course, Sunglasses at Night. And to date, he has sold over 16 million records worldwide. He's a Grammy nominee, he's a multiple Juno, ASCAP, and a Disc Award winner. And here's a little fact you maybe don't know. That Corey met his beautiful wife, Julie Mass, who's with us right now. They actually met at the Junos in 1993 when they're presenting an award, Album of the Year award back in 93. So, and they're now, obviously, you probably saw the children here, they're now proud parents of 4 beautiful grown children, India, Dante, River, and I'm sorry, Rain, thank you, sorry, Rain. And obviously, guys, thrilled you guys could all be here to see this wonderful moment for your father. And it was because of them that Corey stepped away from the limelight and took some time off to raise his family with Julie. And I gotta say, as a parent, I'm incredibly envious. I wish I had that opportunity. It's incredible that you took that moment to be with your kids. And I gotta say, we're all very glad that he returned. He's just released his first studio album in over 20 years, produced by a fellow Hall of Famer, the legendary Bob Ezrin. Find Bob's name up there. And as you know, he's currently on his Canadian tour and about to embark on a tour in Asia as well, the first since 1980s. And today, like I say, we're very, very grateful to be here at Studio Bell, home of the National Music Center, and for hosting us in what is the second part of this induction ceremony. And it's actually become probably my favorite moment of the ceremony as well. Because in my opinion, this really is the moment when we welcome the artist into the Hall of Fame. So Corey, on behalf of the board of directors of the Canadian Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences, I say this to you on the phone, it is my distinct honor to welcome you into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Everybody, Corey Hart.
There's no teleprompter today. And quite honestly, like I said, I should quit while I'm ahead. I really didn't prepare much to say. What I expressed at the night, actually when Alan phoned me, I was so overwhelmed with emotion because quite honestly, it's not something that an artist should ever aspire to be inducted into a Hall of Fame. An artist pursues his music and devotes his life work to it, and his commitment to it, and if something wonderful happens like that, it's an unexpected blessing. And so when Alan called me, we chatted for 7 or 8 minutes, and I was really sort of, I was in a quandary because I didn't quite know why he was calling me. And we had a lovely conversation, and I thought it was because I was appearing at the Junos, or that I had a new record out, and he was going to ask me to present an award at the Junos. So when he did tell me that I was being inducted, I was overcome with emotion and gratitude, which is what I feel right now, standing here in front of all of you, looking at all those names there that precede me in the pantheon of greats in our country. I'm very proud to be Canadian, and to know that my name will be there along with the others gives gives me a great sense of pride, but also incredible humility and gratitude to Alan and to all the folks at the Junos and Andrew Mossberg, anyone involved that had said yay or nay. Whoever said yay, thank you so much. In closing, I just simply like to say that music saved my life when I was a little boy, and music continues to inspire me. And without music, I would not have met my wife Julie. We never would have experienced the joy of our 4 children. And my choice of stepping away to raise them was from the personal architecture of my early youth, not having a father in my life. So I really wanted to be with them. But artists need to be selfish. They need to follow their creative paths. But I encourage anyone and everyone that listens and that can hear me now that keep music in your life. Surround yourself with music, because music is the greatest force of love around.
This is a very, very important, thank you, Corey, and Alan, for those great comments. This isn't the moment at this sort of wall plaque ceremony, like we like to call it, where we formally place the plaque on the wall. And it may seem like a simple thing, but it really is the culmination of years and years of work and inspiration on behalf of Corey and I think his powerful words about the power of music, which I know brought all of us together today and will continue to bring us together for many generations to come. So savor this moment as you watch it. So it's time to do it.
So a couple of like, congratulations. Get a quick press. You get there, okay? Great. Just by yourself. Just by yourself.
No, I think
Mark, can you face this way also?
No rehearsal. It's kind of like school and a chalkboard.
Good stuff. It's on there.
See, we told you it'd be a special moment.
Yeah.
Very, very special moment.
You faked me out with your fake.
There's no rehearsals here, actually. So now there's obviously an opportunity for the media to do some quick interviews with either Alan, Corey. I'm sure you all want to talk to Corey, so now's your time to do that. He's gonna just come.